So, welcome everyone. We are FreeSpirit Fabrics here today. We are doing our Inspired by FreeSpirit Fabrics, and we are here to share with you the Floral Felicity Quilt Along project. We have So Kind of Wonderful with us here today. Helen and Jenny are going to be joining us momentarily. But in the meantime, I am Sharon Thornton. And Sarah Asby is here. She's behind the camera. She's showing you this beautiful quilt. And we are very excited to be sharing this with you again. And we're excited that you've joined us today. So if you are joining and you'd like to share with us where you are tuning in from, you know that we love to know where you're coming from. So please share with us. We are coming to you today from Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's a little toasty here today, or it's going to be a little bit toasty. So look at how great this quilt is, this Floral Felicity quilt. So what we want to do is we want to show you the quilt that Sarah's showing you, and we want to show you some of the fabric packs before we bring Helen and Jenny on. Hold on, I'm just trying to open this a little bit wider so you can see. So look how great this quilt is. So what I'd like to show you to start off with is the instructions. So here is the book that you will be getting. Is there a sheen on this? Or can it be seen fairly well? So this is a Floral Felicity instruction booklet. And Helen and Jenny, I know I already said this to you earlier, but as makers, to anyone that is participating in this is pretty phenomenal. I mean, this is very nice. I don't think I've seen instructions done this nicely in my tenure here at FreeSpirit. So just want to let you know that you are getting a real treat with this instruction booklet. And Helen and Jenny will bring you through much more of it. And they've done some videos and they'll talk about their videos and whatnot. But, you know, as a maker, I mean, they have, you know, dotted the I's across the T's on this whole project. So for those of you that are participating, you will not be disappointed. So booklet is wonderful. Helen and Jenny are going to talk to you about the different zones. So there are a total of 12 different zones, which I'm just going to hit on here, and they will expand upon it potentially a little bit further as we get into today's discussion. But the first packet of fabric is going to include zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. So if we could pan over to these, Sarah. So this is your first packet. So this is what you get. I'm not going to open this up. I kind of opened it a little and decided not to, so that's why it's open here. But this is what your packet's going to look like that you're receiving. And these are shipping now. So these are shipping in June right now. So this is zones 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's shipping in the month of June, and you get the instruction booklet that I was just showing you. All of this is coming to you. Okay. Now what you do need in addition to that, before you can get started, are both of these rulers. So if you are participating, you need to purchase both of these rulers, and you can get them from SoKindOfWonderful.com. You need the Wonder Curve ruler and the Sew Square 4-inch ruler. Okay, and then later this year, after you finished zones 1, 2, 3, and 4, in November, this will be your next packet, and this is what it looks like. Okay. And here on the side, here are all your fabrics. I don't want to break this open because we'll probably be shipping it to somebody in the future, so I don't want to crack it. But you can see all the fabrics are in here, everything that you need. Now, in November of this year will be for zones 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then lastly, next year in March of 2024, which I can't believe we're already talking about, this is the next packet that you'll receive. And again, here are all the fabrics in here. And they will be for zones 9, 10, 11, and 12. And this also includes the border fabric and the binding. So that is what that packet looks like. And again, let's go back over to the rulers. If you don't have these rulers, you need to get these rulers because you're not doing anything. You cannot make this wonderful project, the Floral Felicity project, without the rulers. So I am going to switch us over now to Helen and Jenny. So hold on one second here. And let me see. There you are. So Welcome to both of you. We are thrilled to have you here with our Free Spirit Inspired By. You ladies have done a phenomenal job. I know this has been a, I don't know, what do we call it? A labor of love. Exactly. Thank you, Sarah. Labor of love. It's a beautiful quilt. We thank you for everything you've done. I mean, seriously, the instruction booklet, the quilt, the fabrics that you designed for this collection. I mean, everything. It's like, you know, all of the worlds have come together to this perfect storm. So, you know, I thank you as Free Spirit. You know, you've done a great job with this, and thank you very, very much. And we're hoping that today you could share with us a little bit more, you know, a little bit more insight as to what everybody could be looking forward to as they, you know, start the project. And what, you know, I know that you're doing videos. Maybe you could talk about the videos a little bit and anything that you'd like to tell us in further detail about this project.
Well, thank you, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Okay. Yes, we would love to talk all about Floral Felicity.
Yep.
And I'm Helen.
I'm Jenny, and we are so kind of wonderful.
Yes, and sisters, for those that don't know it.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes, Floral Felicity. It has, like Sharon said, it was a collaboration of fabric and a pattern, and it really did come together, and
Mhm.
it was very serendipitous
Right.
for both of these to come at the same time.
Mhm.
We have been wanting to create a flower kind of type pattern for a long time. So when we were coming up with this collection of fabric, we thought, oh, what a perfect time to release a flower pattern, and this collection works great with it. And then we collabed with Free Spirit to do our quilt along. So we're
Yes.
excited. It's going to be a fun year.
Yes.
Yes. And
What-
so today is all about just helping everybody understand, you know, like if I'm a shop participant, what is that looking like? If I'm a maker, you know, working with my shop or working on my own, where are my resources and how is it all going to come together
Right.
to make your own beautiful quilt?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to see what you're going to show us today.
Well, you can see behind us that even though Jenny and I have already made the full quilt.
Twice.
Yeah, so Jenny made a quilt, and that's the one that Sharon was just showing at the beginning.
Mhm.
And I made a quilt.
Mhm.
As we make the videos for each month that we talk about, this is our first
So this will
zone.
be quilt 3 for us as
Yes.
we quilt with all of you.
Yes.
We're going to be making, actually, I think we're going to do the 4 mini quilts.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Since we
fine.
already have 2 full-size quilts, we're thinking we should change it up. So this is our first zone, and we already made it, and we already made videos, and those videos will go live in July. So yes, we're doing it right along with you again,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and which is great. It's great when you make your own projects again.
It is.
Right.
And make sure the pattern works.
Right, right.
Over and
It
over and
does.
over. Yes.
For the third time.
That's
Yes. So we have, as we planned this whole experience, we thought about what would help and facilitate makers and shops.
right.
So you want to talk about Facebook? Is that a good place to start?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of participants, shops, just individual participants that bought it from, you know, from us, or we have students that bought from their shop from Free Spirit. So we have a few different levels and layers here that people are receiving their fabric. And so we're just going to bring it all together. And the first place we're going to start, because this is where all the information will go through, is our Facebook page that we created. And it is called the Floral Felicity Sew Along with So Kind of Wonderful. And if you can just do a search for that on your Facebook page or your Facebook, and it will pull up and you just join. You don't need to be invited.
Yeah.
You can just join that group. whether you're joining with a shop, your quilt along is through a shop, or you're just doing it individually, it's open to everyone.
You can even invite your friends. There's a button here where you can say, oh, so-and-so needs to do this because, you know, we're doing it together or we're friends. Or, yeah.
Mhm. That's great. I'm gonna have my friends join. They're not even gonna know why.
There you go. This is where, when we post a video, this is where it will live. So, and even if you join late, you can always go back and rewatch those videos.
Right. And we will be active on it. So if there's questions, you know, we will answer questions. We will randomly post information that might need to get out there. We'll do a post today on some information for shops that bought, you know, yardage and are cutting their own kits. So we'll put information out there for them. So we just want everyone to feel like they know what's going on. You can always personally email us just through sokindofwonderful.com. We receive the emails. We can email you back with any questions that you might have. So that's also another way to connect with us.
Yeah. It is a year-long quilt along. So it's not just one block a month. And that's why we're calling it Quilt Along, because this is what we're doing in July, which you can see is 3 blocks.
Yep. So we have 1, 2, and then we have that. So,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
so that's why we kind of named them zones. And we'll explain that a little bit better.
Because we were imagining just that, well, if we did it by month, 1 block a month, we're like a 2-year project. And some of the blocks are really small. So
Right.
they can, you know, we can do more than 1 block in a month.
Right.
We know what quilters do. They quilt, they go, they like it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I think that once everyone gets started, they might even jump ahead of you in terms of your videos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it really is like, it's going to take a couple, I think, of months for them to like get the feel of the Wonder Curve ruler, how to use the lines, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. I think the blocks that come in zone, 3, 4, 5,
Well,
6.
Especially because these 2 that we make in zone 1, we're going to make them again in zone 9.
Right.
So when somebody gets there, they're going to be like, oh, I know how to do this already.
Right.
So you can rewatch the video, watch the new one, or move ahead.
Right. Just smoke on through it, right? Because they already know how to do it.
That's right. Maybe we should show the tools we're using.
Yeah, let's do that. So we have the Wonder Curve ruler. That is the ruler that it's a ruler you need to make this quilt. And it is purchased through your local quilt shop, or you can go to our website and buy it there.
It has a curved cutout slot in it. And yes, it has brown paper on the back. Somebody asked, how do I get the brown paper off?
Yes. How do
Can
we?
we show that?
We should.
Yes.
Because you can't use it without that brown paper off.
Yeah, if you still have brown paper on, we know something about you. We know
What is it that we're not using the ruler?
or you have X-ray vision and can see through paper. Okay, so let's show how that happens.
Okay, so I have a little straight pin, and if you have, anyway, you can use your fingernails, but sometimes your fingernails don't work. So you just take that little straight pin and you just lift up the corner. And then once it's lifted up, you just slowly pull it off.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can go fast, but I like to go slow. That way my goal is to get it off in one piece.
Right.
Very satisfying. It's that like, oh yes, it's not gluey, but it is stuck. It's like a Post-it note, It's not going to leave a residue.
Right. There might be questions out there on, okay, do you provide templates in the pattern? No, we don't.
Ooh, one thief.
This is the ruler you need to make all the blocks. The ruler graphic is actually right in the pattern. showing you how to cut your fabric, how to square up your blocks. So this ruler, you can't make it without the ruler, basically.
Right. And I saw in the Facebook group already that you had posted a video, Helen, where you're going through and you're talking about the ruler, the zones, the colors. I mean, that's wonderful, right?
Yes, and in your Floral Felicity pattern, there's actually a 2-page layout that shows how to cut your basic shapes. So instead of templates that you trace and freezer paper and cut, you just put your basic shapes under the Wonder Curve ruler and cut in the curve slot with your rotary cutter.
Yep.
So
Love
yeah,
this.
so very
Love
fun.
this. Yes, very nice.
And it really speeds up the process for cutting unique curved shapes.
Right.
The other tool we're using
is our So Square 4-inch ruler. So this is one of 4 square up rulers we have. We have a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch. This one is used a lot throughout this book. So anytime you're squaring up your block to a 4x4, use the So Square 4. And if you have a rotating cutting mat, it makes it super great.
Ah, nice.
Cut, rotate, and then cut.
Right. Very nice. Love that tip.
Yeah.
we could talk a little about
Should we
the,
talk about yardage
Yeah.
versus kits?
oh, yes,
Okay.
let's do that.
So if you were receiving kits from your local quilt shop, or if you're a shop owner and you're receiving kits from FreeSpirit, we're going to sort of talk about the difference between receiving those three shipments versus maybe supplying the whole kit for your
Makers.
exactly. So on our website, we actually sell the full kit. So we'll explain the difference between the two.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, so on the back of the pattern, it's like all of our patterns, we show fabric requirements for the whole quilt. If you are right inside the back cover, right inside that last page, here are the full requirements again. But maybe you are a shop and you're wondering what is coming in the first shipment. So we broke it down into 3 shipments. So you can see that. If you're a shop and you missed the deadline for ordering the kits, but you were able to order cottage cloth fabric, here's where you can see what, if you wanted to provide it in 3 shipments, here's a place for you to see what that would look like.
Perfect. That's awesome.
So that should be helpful. And that's right in the pattern.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's great. Thank you, Helen, for explaining that. And Jenny, that's great.
Yeah.
I know there's so many layers.
And in the first cutting video, we sort of explain, hey, if you received yardage for your whole pattern, your whole kit, the cutting is basically the same as if you were to receive first shipment, like your first kit of 3. You're just cutting off a larger piece of yardage than your smaller piece. Basically the same.
Yeah. So here it shows you how much you need for the first set of cutting instructions. So you'll just cut off those with the fabric strips and then save the rest and don't cut into it. Make an error in your cutting. Jenny and I both did, and we show that in the first cutting video already posted. We both were cutting, we both made errors. We went, oh. So we went back and we had enough extra to fix that.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So there is going to be not big errors, but a small error, right?
Right.
Small cutting error.
And it's super normal. I mean, we've all made enough quilts. We're like, your brain just takes a vacation and you do something. You're like, why would I do that? I don't know. Now I got to fix it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So just save it as you go.
And you're on page 72. So this is like towards the end of the book. All of these.
Yep. The cutting is in the book. It'll always be there. we will cut it in 3 different sections because it's a lot to cut a whole quilt right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be efficient in using your fabric.
Right.
So this way we get a chunk of fabric and we get to cut it for 4 zones.
Mhm.
Right.
So when Helen and I were together a couple of weeks ago, we took the kit that we received from FreeSpirit, the first section, and we cut all 4 zones.
Mhm.
Right.
So should,
Uh-huh.
yep.
Yeah.
So here's zone 2. We put it in a bag, and then we explain this all in that cutting video. But you know, we have these great little, you know, what would you call that?
Labels.
Labels. Yes.
There's the word.
Yep.
And where do these labels live?
Well,
They
They-
live in your book.
they do. So you can make a photocopy. They also live on our website. So you can go to our website and you can download the PDF and you can
Nice.
print it
Yes.
that way.
So you don't have to cut up your book. It's, you know, you can print. We included a strip of fabric with the label. So you know, like if it
Mhm.
gets misplaced, you know,
Wow.
oh, that fabric
So
goes,
there's, yep,
yes.
so there's that. It's really, really great. It helps keep you organized.
Yes, this is awesome. What didn't you think of in organizing this?
You know, the labels didn't exist until we actually made our quilts
That's
last
true.
October.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going along and I'm like, oh, no,
You
oh,
need a
no.
way to organize.
We need
the
a way to
pieces.
say these
Yeah.
pieces go in this block.
Mm-hmm.
This was developed out of a necessity. Otherwise, we were handwriting all the pieces that we were cutting and we were like, we can do better.
Right.
Yes,
Well, I'm telling you, you did a beautiful job in these instructions. This is very impressive.
thank you. Maybe one more thing we could talk about, and then we can do questions. So maybe we talk about zones versus blocks. Because the pattern shows zones
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right here. That's the whole quilt.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shows what you make in each zone, but how do you know how to make those blocks? So then you go back here and then there's a whole section that just walks you through one block at a time.
Perfect.
The blocks are in the pink section. The zones are in the green section. There's little color tabs up here.
Mm-hmm.
But
So zone 1 would be month 1. Zone 2 is month 2. So that's how we, you know, zone 3 is month 3.
Right.
and how do you know what month we're doing what in? We were thinking about that about a month ago, and we were like, well, let's do this. Okay, so
If you go to sokindofwonderful.com and go to the,
I think it lives a couple places, but we'll show you.
Yeah.
Um,
it's in
So-
our fabric. We have a fabric page.
you do it because I can't go backwards.
Got it.
You're like,
So we have a fabric page. This is the cottage cloth floral Felicity. We actually uploaded another 50 kits. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I missed out, I want to get one, you can go to our website and get
Mhm. Yeah.
check your local shop. If they don't
Mhm.
have any, let's say they sold out, you can get one from us and still participate with your local shop.
And this
Yep.
is round 2. So this is round 2 of kits that we have sold. So if you were on that page, there's some links. And if you scroll down, you will see the Facebook Floral Felicity group. So you just click on that. And that will take you right to our Facebook page. And
Mhm.
then the next one is Floral Felicity Quilt Along Schedule. So if you click on that, it will open up a schedule, and that will be something maybe you can print, and that will just kind of keep you on track with, you know, the days that we will be posting videos and the days that we will be on live to answer any questions, tips, tricks, whatever. So it's all there on that schedule.
That's awesome. So because that's great. Thank you for walking us through the website and, to know that everything's there. So if anybody has any questions as it relates to Floral Felicity, please go to sokindofwonderful.com to their website and you will have all of your questions answered. But just to, reiterate what Jenny was just saying, there is a schedule. So the first Monday of every month, Helen and Jenny will have their video ready for their first, for the first zone will be ready the first Monday of July. Then the second Monday of July, Helen and Jenny will both come on into the Facebook group live and they will answer any questions. So if you've been working on your zone 1 and you're stuck or you have any questions, they will be there live to answer you. So
it'll be video. It'll be live. I'm thinking we're going live video, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
we could be there to answer the written questions.
Live video is the same as live?
Well, you know how we go Facebook Live already?
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining.
Yeah, that's what
This
we'll
is a
be
good
doing.
place to clarify this.
Right.
Are we just like online?
Oh, no,
computer?
video. Yes, yes, we will be live. We
Okay.
might always be together, but we're going to try to figure out how we can both be on at the same time.
Okay.
Or, you'll get one of us.
Right.
Yeah.
So if one of you's live, Helen, if it's you, the first month that you're live, Jenny might be in the background answering, typing in questions and vice versa.
Right.
Sometimes you'll both be together and no one will be typing in answers.
That's right. We
Or
don't
we'll
live
be
near
there.
each other. We
Yes.
just happen to be together this week.
Right. No, I get it. So that's great. So then the second Monday, there'll be a live Q&A with one or both of you.
Yes.
And then the third Monday, we're asking makers who are participating in this program to post their progress in the Facebook group, talk about, what you loved about it, maybe additional tips and tricks that, Helen and Jenny don't already know. I mean, you two are the masters, but you never know.
Oh, we always get great suggestions.
Yeah, we've
Right.
adopted patterns from people that make
From
our stuff.
makers that have great ideas.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have any great ideas and you'd like to share with the group, please, on the Monday, we want everyone to start posting for that week. And then on the fourth Monday of every month, once people have posted their progress, we will be selecting a winner out of the people that are posting. So we do encourage you to stay active in the Facebook group and make your postings. And then who knows what you'll be getting. You'll be getting a giveaway from So Kind of Wonderful some months, and then other months you'll be getting giveaways from FreeSpirit fabrics. So it'll definitely be worth it to be posting your progress because we are very excited to see what everybody's doing.
And that progress can be, even, hey, I got my fabric out. Take a picture of your fabric and post it.
Exactly.
Just something to show that, okay, yes, I am moving forward.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
in a year, we would love to see everybody's completed project and not have this thing that floats out there for
Mhm.
years and years and years. We all know that project we're talking about.
Oh, we do.
I have a 20-year one. Yes. I needed accountability a long time ago. Yes.
Well, and the thing that you both mentioned before, and that's also what I personally love about this project. I mean, it's a beautiful piece as a whole piece. And as you both mentioned, there are 4 smaller pieces that can be made. But, Helen, to your point, if I'm sewing along and I finish zones 1, 2, and 3, I mean, I have a whole section done. I could have my own little piece already done.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. This is zones 1, 2, and 3 right here.
Right.
Sew them together. And then you don't lose any of those little blocks. Nothing is missing. And
Right.
yes.
And even, in November, they're going to be getting zones 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm sitting here doing some fancy math in my head and I'm thinking of Christmas gifts, and I'm so far ahead of the curve that I could actually give away zones, sections, the 3 of the 4 quadrants I could be giving away for Christmas. And I need to buy a second kit because I need to make this bed quilt for myself in the end.
Yeah.
But no, I think that this is phenomenal. So this is a great, great program. Thank you to both of you for all the work that you've done. I can definitely see it's been a labor of love. It's a beautiful quilt. It's a beautiful collection. Again, I can't speak enough about how well this is laid out and the thought that's been put behind it. And again, we as makers, thank you for that. And I know that as people, I can already see what you've done, the work that you've done, and I'm sure many others can, but I'm sure that those that are not familiar with you or your patterns, as they're working through this, they're going to be like, wow, wow. So kudos to both of you, because it really is very nicely done. So in conclusion, unless, and I don't mean to jump ahead of either of you. Oh, wait, are there any questions?
Yep, just thumbs up.
Lots of thumbs up and hearts,
Excellent.
and just lots of happiness that they're excited to get starting. Get started. Okay, great. So
So I have a question. I've had a few people, a couple shops have said, we're still waiting on our shipments. So they're all going out, right? I mean, it's just,
yes,
it just goes across the country. Because my local shop last week said, we're still waiting. So I said
Yes.
it soon. Yes.
It definitely is. I know that I checked on this morning before we got on. I know that all of the kits from FreeSpirit are shipping and have been shipped.
Oh, excellent.
Right. If a shop is missing their kit, or their first delivery, I would imagine it would be coming very soon. I know that the merchandise has left the warehouse, so it's out in trucks somewhere. If it hasn't been, we do a question, thread preference. Well, we can answer that question in a second, but in terms of, thank you, Sarah. In terms of the shipments, they are out. Okay, so I just want to make sure everybody knows the shipments are out. They have left our warehouse. So shops should be getting them. If you have ordered this Floral Felicity quilt along and you haven't heard from your shop, reach out to your shop. See if, she may have it. It might be sitting right there in the shop. Again, like we've already said, if you didn't already order from a shop, reach out to your local retailer. Maybe she has extras that she's still looking to, she might have some extras. And if she doesn't, reach out to So Kind of Wonderful, and you can order kits off of their website as well. So the question that Sarah just had from somebody was, is there a thread preference? Do either of you have a thread preference for this project? Is there a particular brand that you like and have trust in, or what do you ladies recommend?
You have your thread snobs. I don't think we're thread snobs.
What if I get thread, I'm happy. Literally.
But as far as the color goes, I would say just like a medium, like a light tan beige color.
Okay.
Good crossover with all the colors in the quilt. So it's just a poly thread, but if you like cottons, just personal preference, but yeah.
So just a nice neutral. So whether they use like a natural or even maybe a gray, if you had a lighter gray, they could probably,
that'd be perfect.
Yeah, get away with that. So
maybe Sharon, we could also mention, we've already posted 4 little videos to the Facebook group. So we posted a welcome, what supplies should I have?
Right.
We have also posted a what does the pattern consist of? So we kind of walk through parts of the pattern. And then the first actual activity one is cutting up that first shipment. So we did walk through how to cut your fabric. And we're going to figure out how to make these featured so that you can just find them easily.
Yeah, so you don't have to go through.
You don't have to run the whole feed.
Yeah, so
okay.
Work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easier to go to find those videos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then leave comments, questions there. We can get back to it. But again, next Monday, we will be live talking about anything people would like to talk about on cutting their first, cutting
The first section.
number 1, whatever. I'm trying to remember how it's labeled.
Cutting your pieces.
Yeah.
And any questions and
Fabric cutting set number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's great to know. So I'm very excited. And the reason I pointed out making those smaller versions is because I'm totally going to be doing that for my mother and sister. And I hope they're not watching.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
So they're going to know what they're getting. But anyways.
And look at you planning ahead for your Christmas.
Yeah, you got to do it. If I don't do it, it doesn't happen.
we're gonna hold you accountable. We're gonna check in with you, Sharon.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, we'll have to do another Facebook Live and you'll have to check in with me on that.
We're gonna ask Mom. Mom, did you get that gift Sharon promised?
That's well, I promised you guys. I didn't promise Mom anything yet.
Okay.
But anyway, so I love this. This is great. I hope everybody that has tuned in today, and I know that, you know, the makers that are making are very excited. So just want to make sure. So Sarah's going to show the quilt one more time as we phase on out here. So hold on, Sarah, I'm going to pop you back on. So Helen and Jenny, would you like to, wave goodbye before we pan back out on the quilt?
We'll see you all year.
Yes, you'll see a lot of us.
Yes, and we appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining us today. And Sarah's going to get up on close on this quilt and show it a little bit more closely. And again, we're going to be working through this over the next 12 months. It's going, Helen and Jenny are vested in this project, and we appreciate that so much because any questions will be answered. And I just think this is great. So I hope that everyone is excited to get started. And as they mentioned, please look at the Facebook group and you'll be able to see the videos that they are taking, time to post to answer a lot of the questions. And we should be all set to get going and move forward on this. So we thank you for joining us today. And we will be live in that Facebook group. So FreeSpirit will be watching it, and so will Helen and Jenny. So you will be getting your answers as often as we are all in there. So again, thank you so much. And we are going to end for today. Sarah's doing a great job showing that quilt.